Today we're going to make a very simple ring in SolidWorks. We're going to make this D shape right here and revolve it around an axis that's over here. So let's get started making a new part. And let's start drawing on the front face. So what we can do on that is right click on the front face over here and say sketch right there. Let's make that D shape, or maybe we could start with making a center line first of all. What we could do is make it symmetric. So we use a midpoint line like this, go vertical. We don't want this to be part of the part, so I just hit escape. And now I'm going to say, make this a construction line instead of making it part of the ring. This will be the axis around which we revolve. Let's make another center line. Let's even drag it directly out here. Go like this. Make this snap vertical. You can see the yellow square there telling me that I'm vertical. We can measure the size of this. I believe it's going to be 4 millimeters. We want to make sure that I am down here in the millimeter setting before we get started or going too far there. So there's 4 millimeters. Let's see what else we got on our sketch here. 0.75 for the horizontal lines that go here. And notice I have to pick up my mouse and go like that by hitting the escape button. So you don't want to draw here and then come back over to that point. You want to hit escape. Then what we can do is make this 0.75 millimeters. And make this other one the same size. So that's 0.75. Then what we can do is turn off Smart Dimension, click on this line, hold down the Shift key, and then click on that line. So now we can make them equal lengths. Next thing we want to do is to draw a circle to make that D part of it. So let's go up here and use this circle tool. You see here we want to do is click on the center first and then on the 2 points and for which we're making the arc. So let's zoom in a little bit like this. And I'm going to hover over this until I can get my circle not to be centered here, but somewhere out here in space. Then I'll click at the end of that line that came out and hopefully land right back over there. Now, sometimes I don't quite land over there perfectly. So we'll check that out to make sure that is the case after we set the radius to be 3.5. Let's check on that value. Oh, 3.2 instead. And there it is. And it looks like everything is coincident like that. Sometimes what happens is you're not quite so lucky. So I hit Control-Z a couple of times. We'll go in here and I'll purposely make it not connect at the end. So we'll start here, purposely make it connect here, but then just fall short of it right there. And you'll see why I'm going to do that, just to help alleviate possible errors that you have. Let's set the radius on this one right here. So again, to be 3.2. And then to fix any kind of discontinuity at the end, what we can do is turn off Smart Dimension, hold down the Shift key, go right here, select those 2 points and make them coincident. It's still blue and not fully defined right here because we don't know the distance between here and here. So for my finger, kind of got a big finger here, so I'm going to use a distance right there. You know what? I really need to have, that's the radius. I want the diameter instead. In order to do that, we go over here for the revolve tool. So you can see here is the radius and here is the diameter. For the diameter, I'm going to use 22.9 millimeters. And it looks like it's going to make quite a big ring there. Now we got to do is come over here and use the revolve tool. And hopefully that shows us our ring. And that is how you make a ring. What you could do is also put some beveled edge right there. Maybe not a chamfer necessarily, but a fillet. You don't really want too much of it. I think it's going to default to something really big. Let's just make it like 0.5 and see how that looks. You see it kind of made it smooth around the edge. Might have been a little too much, but anytime you want to change it, go like this. And then just modify it a little bit, maybe 0.25, just to soften the edge just a little bit so it won't hurt going onto your finger. And there's the ring. Okay, a little bit of bonus material here. You don't have to do this next step, but you could put your name on the inside or on the outside. So let's see how we would go about doing that. Let's go over and draw on the right plane. So I'm right clicking on the right plane in the feature tree and doing a sketch. And let's see if I can also do a perpendicular to that. So I'm really drawing in the middle of this right here. And what I want to draw is just a center line down here. How about maybe just all the way across? So I'm gonna go back over here to right plane, make it perpendicular. Looks like I'm still in the sketch mode. And I'm gonna do this center line, I guess maybe all the way from here over to there. And I'm going to draw some or type in some words to go on that. I'm going to use this as my reference for writing. So I'm going to say, like, I could put my initials, but I'm going to say one ring. I don't think I have enough room to put one ring to roll them all. It's too big, obviously. It looks like it's already centered, which is good. But you can use these settings if it's not centered and properly placed. I'm going to go to not use the document font, but rather just maybe built-in fonts. I'm going to use Arial, and let's make this like 2 mm height right there, so perhaps it will fit. Let's see what it looks like when I do that. Looks pretty good. Maybe trying some bold might help make it a little bit bigger, or just regular for that matter. Let's try bold. Looks a little bit bigger. And you can see that the font is actually in the middle of the ring. So we need to wrap it around, let's say, that surface. In order to do that, what you can do is go up here to the search option. Make sure you select commands that you're searching for, and you want to look for the wrap option. All right, so first of all, I got to close this sketch though. Forgot to do that part. So agree to that. Then try to get into RAP. Whoops, there we go. The wrap tool right here. Might not be able to select it yet because I'm still in edit mode. Let me try it one more time. And then finally, I'm able to select it. It's basically saying, what do you want to wrap? And I want to wrap this right here. And I want to wrap it around, let's say, the inside surface right there. So I'm going to select that. And you can see that it's going to put it on the inside over here. So let me put it on the other way because I think that's backwards. Yeah, that's backwards over there. So to flip direction, you just say reverse direction, and now you can see it over here. And it looks like for right now, are we going to engrave it maybe? So if we hover over this, it says emboss. And let's just do it a little bit. I just put 0.4 millimeters in there. And let's see how deep it does it. Actually, it looks like it, yeah, it raised the letters there. So that would rub against your fingers. Right click on the wrap and do it the other direction. So instead of emboss, we'll do deboss, it's called, I guess, right there, deboss. And now we have something that's engraved on the inside. So if you have something you want to engrave on that curved surface, that's how you would do it. But if you want it on the outside of this, you have to do a little bit different approach. So instead of wrapping around the cylinder, we want it along the surface. Let's delete this face right here because we don't want it on the inside. We want it on the outside. Now, if you leave it on this, you can't select the outside. But if you have an unusual surface, you click on that, and now you can. And we don't want it on that side there. We really want it out here on this side. Let's just click to see what it's going to do when we do that. And you see that it kind of engraved it into the surface. If you want to raise it instead, then I guess you would select the other one over here. And so there's the raised letters. Now, if you want to have it more pronounced, you could go extreme with this. And so instead of like 4 millimeters, you can just put 3, and it would almost look like you have like some kind of jewel on top of your ring, perhaps, if you do it that way. It probably wouldn't stay on very well, be uncomfortable snagging that there. So you want to keep that in mind as you're doing that. And you could also play around with having words go all the way around or maybe all the way around on the inside using a similar approach. All right, hope this helps with making your ring. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back down to something more reasonable, maybe 0.5 millimeter or zero point 0.4. It's going to be good. And there you go. You can engrave it instead of emboss it if you or yeah, emboss it if you want to. All right, make sure you save this as a SolidWorks file and upload it to the Dropbox. Hope this helps.